right, calling this regular town meeting to order at 7:39 PM. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Crown,
Here.
Trustee Tyson,
Here.
Trustee Goet,
Here.
Trustee Klein, here, Trustee Mueller. Absent, Assessor Katzberg, absent, Highway Commissioner Benton, absent, Tax Collector Cole.
Here. We have our forum, thank you. Inviting any members of the public to speak for public comment. Hearing none, first item on the agenda, or next item on the agenda rather, we're moving on to approval of minutes. I'm gonna move to table approval of the October 9th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes to our January meeting. Can I please have a second on that tabling motion?
Second.
All right, you can do a roll call on that, please.
Supervisor Crown,
Yes.
Trustee Tyson,
Yes.
Trustee Goet,
Yes.
Trustee Klein. Yes. Trustee Miller, absent. Motion passed.
Next item on the agenda, approval of the November 13th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve? So moved. And a second, please.
Second.
Any comments on the minutes? Or requested amendments?
I have two requests.
Okay.
that Add minutes to the title. Because when I'm searching and looking for it, I couldn't find it because I was looking for minutes and it doesn't say minutes, it just says Wheatland Township Board meeting. Doesn't say minute.
What do you mean by switching for?
Just the time when she's looking for the document.
Looking for the document.
You can do a search.
When I'm doing a search for minutes. It doesn't say minutes, it's just, that would be nice to have.
Exactly,
Nice
yeah,
to have.
that's fine.
And then,
And also, can you add a timestamp at the footer? If you have multiple copies of it, this way you have a timestamp to see which is the latest and greatest.
okay.
If that's not too much.
So we'll do, those will be requests for future versions of the document, but we don't require any amendments to the current document.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good to understand. Any additional comments or amendments required for the minutes?
Good from my
All right,
side.
hearing none, can we do a roll call, please?
Supervisor Crown,
Yes.
Trustee Tyson,
Yes.
Trustee Goet,
Yes.
Trustee Klein. Yes. Trustee Miller, absent. Motion passes.
All right, thank you. This one's on me and I'm gonna apologize. Terry, I didn't get you my comments, in time for the executive session minutes ahead of today. So I'm gonna motion to table our executive session meeting minute approval to our January meeting. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
I'm gonna do a roll call on that table, please. I'll make sure I get this.
Sure. Supervisor Crown,
Yes.
Trustee Tyson,
Yes.
Trustee Goet,
Yes.
Trustee Klein. Yes. Trustee Miller is absent. Passed.
Okay, thank you. We have no whole business, so moving on to new business, can I get a motion to approve the paratransit local share agreement for Ride and Page?
Motion.
Second.
All right, so we got Klein and Glowiak. All right, so this is the first time, I think, the three of you have been part of this process. So this is for our the subsidized rides that we provide. It's, even though we are in Will County, it says Ride DuPage. The reason being is that we are part of like a partnership with the city of Naperville for this program. The majority of Naperville is in DuPage County, so they're part of what's called the Ride DuPage kind of partnership. So that's why it says DuPage on ours, even though we're in the Will County side. So this is the same repeat agreement we have every year. Essentially what happens is the city of Naperville applies for grants to help subsidize our cost here. And then we pay a percentage of the remaining cost that's billed by PACE based on the number of miles that are ridden by our residents. So pretty straightforward, no changes that I recognized in the contract from previous years. This has been a program that I don't know how long it's gone on, but this would be like the 5th time I've reapproved.
More than 20 years.
Yeah, so
It was
it's
there
it's
when I
been in
started
some
the
time.
aisle.
Unrelated to this contract, just since we're talking about PACE anyways, effective December 1st, our residents should be actually eligible also for Will rides, which is the Will County version of this. So the difference being is that if a ride originates and ends in Will County, that should be covered fully by Will County, not covered by Wheatland Township. If a ride originates or ends outside of Will County, then that would transfer to our terms with the Ride DuPage program. Okay, so realistically, we should be seeing our costs over the next fiscal year going down. Even if it's only 15 or 20% of overall rides going to, or staying within Will County, we should see a direct impact on our budget, which is helpful. And then, trying to think of anything else. One of the other things that I have to do though, is work with the county to get a few locations in DuPage County approved for our residents to be covered by Will. Primarily because a lot of our residents would go to, say, Edward Hospital for care, if they have medical care needs, or dialysis needs into DuPage County. So we're gonna get certain areas locked in to the Will Rides program as well. So even if they leave our county to go to those locations specifically, it'll still be counted by Will Rides. So I'm anticipating a pretty good savings on our our PACE program going into the next fiscal year. But we'll be able to start evaluating and seeing what that looks like now over the next 6 months. To see just how much savings we can expect. So,
Supervisor Crowner,
yes.
will this information be posted on our website?
Yep, we gotta get all the updated, so I gotta get the updated documentation and information from Will County. So that we can get that information on our website as well. And one of the awesome things about it though, is they're able to get our ridership list. And just automatically port them as approved riders in the Will County side. So it's not like our residents will have to also now go sign up for the Will County Rides program. They're gonna automatically transfer over
That's good.
and admit it into that program. So basically, the only difference that they'll feel at the end of it, it's gonna be the same call center that they go to for scheduling their rides and all that. The only difference is how much they're quoted on for the bill of that ride. Okay. And so, yeah, so we were, Will County was kind of piloting that program over the last, I think, 2 years. And so they approached us this year, early summer, to let us know that we were finally be admitted.
Out of curiosity, how much is like the average percentage somebody saves using that program compared to like Uber, Lyft, taxi or?
Significant.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's significantly cheaper. Because whenever we've had to do like subsidized Uber rides, they're way more on average than, and I'm talking about like more than double.
You have subsidized?
We've done some Uber rides as part of the like pilot programs with PACE. So sometimes what will happen is if the system's overwhelmed by the number of rides with the current contracted providers within PACE, right? Then there's kind of the option to subsidize essentially the fleet by getting approved Uber drivers in that program as well. But we have not done very many of those. It's been a few. And they haven't also approved all of the routes that we would have attempted to submit through the Uber program, but it still goes straight through PACE, right? So the billing's done by PACE and everything. We're not like contracting something
They
directly.
use
with Uber.
they use the PACE switchboard. and
Yeah.
everything to actually do the ride. So when our residents are calling, they're actually calling the PACE switchboard. So every once in a while, they'll see they'll call back to the resident or something. They'll see Chicago and then they want to, you know, don't want to answer. They think it's a junk call and it actually might have been the dispatcher saying we're running 15 minutes late or something like that. Then we get that phone call and we go, well, my bus isn't there yet. So, you know, but it works very well. It's over 20 years.
Yeah.
And Edward Hospital was part of the original because there's actually, I'm not sure if it continues here, but I know discount, if you're going to Edward Hospital, it was even cheaper than what the rates are. You can also take a friend with you and the friend pays nothing.
Yeah.
So if in case you needed someone to help you or just a friend, or problems are doctor's appointments.
Yeah. Where
you have to know when you need to be picked up and you know when you're gonna be, when they're gonna pick you up at your doctor's appointment. I don't know how many of you
Their schedule is
have gone into your doctor for a 1 o'clock appointment, and your doctor walks into to the room at 2. How's it going? Like, well,
Gotta leave.
my ride's outside. So, Ride Page is very valuable as well, and but it doesn't help people that were responsible really for helping, unless they live in the DuPage County portion of Whately.
In the neighborhood.
And it plans, right?
So. You guys prepared for a roll call on the contract to renew our program?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call please.
Alright, Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Lloyd,
Yes.
trustee Klein. Yes. Trustee Moore absent, passes.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda, can I get a motion to approve our town and road district fund bills and claims?
So moved.
Second that, second Jeff.
Any questions on the bills?
No.
Straightforward.
You have a highlight? Question?
No, this is something else.
Oh, okay. All right, roll call please.
These are my notes.
Okay.
Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Lloyd,
Yes.
trustee Klein,
Yes.
trustee Miller absent, passes.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna pass around the sheet. Please remember to sign us before you leave.
Has to be black ink, right? Black and blue.
You need.
Just the line to start from that,
Yeah.
print it and catch it, when we scan it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, next item, we are on to reports. First reports by Administrator Bill Green.
I have some fun stuff today.
Oh, good. It's about passports.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the cemetery. We're getting there. No offense, but I've had my month from hell as far as that's concerned.
A lot of
But-
money spent.
The Illinois County's Risk Management Trust, which every year comes out and inspects our building, and they were out this past week. Gentleman that comes here, he's the same guy every year that comes by, and he's actually, I've known him for a long time, so he kind of wants to come out here and have a cup of coffee and then go walk around the building. And we got an excellent report, and I have a copy of his report. The only thing that he saw that was an issue, I've already fixed. We had a ceiling panel by my office that apparently water dripped down and it stained it and stuff. And he goes, we got one that's stained like that, you really need to remove it because it's been damaged and it could fall in at any point.
Yeah.
So luckily I'm at least just 5'11". I could reach on this and I could reach up. I could have used it that day. But I have, I don't know if I concluded it, but I had a report. You can read it at your convenience. That you know. I mean, I had no idea, I don't even know what I'm gonna do or something. But there's only one thing that he suggested, and actually we did this at Lyle, which says not required, but it's a good idea, is to not put the number on all the windows. The way if you have someone that's injured or anything like that, or whatever, in distress in the building. Like after hours or something, if they call 911, they can tell the fire department what window they're by. Instead of you can't get in the building and they, they don't have to bust the door down, they don't have to bust the door down, it's easier to bust a window than it's the door, and much cheaper. Where they're gonna check over there, or and the person's injured over there, or whatever. So if you just get stickers, that are glued on one side, stick it, go around, there's actually a way, and so I think it's counterclockwise. So you start at the front door, you work your way around the building, stick the number in the window, and that way, when if somebody's in danger or whatever, they can say, I'm by window 5 or whatever. That costs next to nothing, and it might save. A check made out to Wheatland Township, $15, which is for one passport photo.
The first,
This is the first check.
she makes me take a picture.
Yeah, you allowed to take a picture of a
I
check?
literally did take a picture. I think that's how we got the check.
Yeah, we did, that was it's for a passport photo. I know, can I say something about something happened in a FOIA or not? No?
Probably.
Okay, well, say later. But I got the answer to that too.
Okay.
Other than that, let's That's all I'll bore you with.
So to put numbers all the way around the building, you just do it, you don't have to.
Well,
Put in a request or something, a request, something from Home Depot or something to tape it all the way around.
they sell sticky numbers as probably,
Put in our building
they probably
supplies.
sell them at a dollar store,
Okay.
quite frankly.
All $8.
How
Mm,
much?
Probably about $8.
oh,
Got all your little stickers. and
Um,
numbers on.
And I'm not gonna work, that's petty cash.
sounds like somebody's.
But, you know, if it's good with you, if that's a good idea with you, I
It's an excellent idea.
I think one other thing, on the passport, you guys got a camera, lighting, so he's got a whole like J.C. Penney setup going in.
Bring your kid.
Hey, photos.
Yeah, we did set it up a little bit more than.
Your Santa backdrop.
When I was going, I'm always, my wife tells me, spend an extra dollar, we're generally like, cause I've been around since, coming up on a few years, up on 20 years of doing this, and I try to save everything I can. But yeah, we bought basically a burner phone, that has the ability to take pictures instead of buying an expensive camera, cause the old camera that we had, which is still a good camera, it kind of yellowed the backgrounds and stuff like that, so it might be an issue with the lens or something it's literally, it's a sure shot Nikon or something that's probably 20 years old. So, does take pictures.
So, well, that's,
But
I think as of this week, right, we have that.
Yeah.
The new.
I knew this was gonna happen, the first few people that all been coming in are all problem children. Cause they probably couldn't get, to sit down in front of the passport agent, which you can't hear, instead of at the counter, and they're having more problems, with the like do-it-yourself ones, and, so they come over there and I ask questions, which is fine, they're residents, there's no, one question is no different than another. So, we're helping them with that, and I know that we put it out just on the, some neighborhood thing that, my wife always told me to put stuff on it, thing, and sure enough, it worked. Where people,
Next door.
next door,
Yeah.
next door, and, that we are in business on. So we have our passport agency open, and so people have called and saying that they can never get anybody to answer their questions. And they have do-it-yourself ones as far, which are free to do it. And if we do the work on it, then we're still entitled to the $65 or $85. But again, these people are trying to get something basically for nothing. You don't want to really do too much for nothing. But if they have the form in front of them and you can tell them what you need to put on line 5, and you can't tell them, but you can't put your name here or there, you can tell them what each one is, they can figure it out. But if they come in, so we've been doing those kind of, they're just bringing in the do-it-yourself form, so in 1 or 2 questions is not a big deal. If they want to do the whole thing, then we tell them you really should come in and have this done. And here, realize that it'll cost you to do that, but I haven't got an argument from anybody, and then one of them wanted to give me a tip. I'm like, no, not going there.
This is not Chicago.
Yeah, and I did actually say in Chicago, I actually did mention to a lady, she's lost her passport and she's traveling in 2 weeks. And she doesn't have a real ID. So she can't use the real ID because she's only flying to Tampa. So you don't need your passport, but you do need it, but
You could go without your real.
Yeah,
ID.
no, they charge you that fee.
But you.
$46.
fee, And you gotta go there.
Invasive.
Yeah, it's hour, 45 minutes earlier than you would.
almost drive there. Not,
Yeah, by the time you're done going through security, you might as well just drive.
say take the train, take Amtrak, probably goes there. And she was very happy with it, and that, that one, that helped her out, but, the one that came in for the one picture, he said he didn't know where to go. He actually went to the post office and spent almost an hour just to get up to the front to find out that he didn't have what he needed. And he was here, and so.
I think what's really awesome is, I don't think we've actually formally announced to the community that we're open for passports, and we've already getting a decent flow.
Yeah.
Just from Bill posting on
Next
next door
door.
one time or twice.
Yeah, and that's pretty much for everybody, that's where they said they saw it. And, you don't put so much on there, but, because you don't wanna, break any rules, but just say that we're not necessarily searching for, but if you would like to do your passports, and then by next month, we'll be on they update the federal website. So we'll be on there on the first of next month anyway, so it'll be out there, so.
Thanks for getting that off the ground, Bill. That's been a few years coming, so.
It's like the first project, since I've been here, it's like the first project we worked on.
Yeah.
Excellent,
It took that long.
good job.
None of my family would eventually be here for that. My wife wants to get the kids' passports, because they've received Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions for Bill before we move on? All right, next, report would be from Mary Katzberg. I don't think I got a report. Did you get a report from her? Okay. Thank you, Mary, for your service. Next month we'll have the new or new assessor rather. Now we've got tax collector Jeff Cole for reports.
I got nothing.
All right, thank you, Jeff Cole, and thank you for your service. We'll have a new tax collector next month in January.
Do you want something? I can give you a whole bunch of stuff.
We go over everything you and I went over. I talked to Jim a little bit. He's working on some programs that can kind of turn everything into more of a tech savvy rather than a book.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I spoke about that a little bit, but I'll let him handle that. I'm not gonna speak for him.
All right, thanks, Jeff, and thanks for stepping in to fill the gap between the last collector and the next one. For Highway Commissioner Harry Benton, I do have some comments, so just bear with me one moment while I pull that up. It says here, winter has started off with a bang. We've had 7 events so far, mostly over the weekends. We've used roughly 155 tons of salt and 1,690 gallons of brine so far. 2023 snow totaled 5 inches. 2024 snow totaled 9 inches, and so that's 14 inches over the last 2 years. We're at nearly 16 inches already this season.
Wow.
So very busy winter compared to previous years. A few other items that they said they are closing out drainage season. They installed in-house 3,586 linear feet of culverts and storm sewers in the year 2025. This is a question mark, so I don't know what this means. It says 119th Street, Phase 1 engineering from Naperville, question mark. Plainfield to Route 30. We'll ask Harry about that next month. Plainfield installing additional street lighting at 135th and Naperville Plainfield Road to lighten up that intersection, so that's over there by the Lakeland. And a stoplight install at 127th in Naperville Plainfield Road has started with the electrical work going in. That is a report for the Highway Commissioner. So if you have any questions, feel free to email them at the Highway Department. Next up, Trustee Matt Glowiak Senior.
Yeah, not a whole ton of updates, kind of same thing, different month, so keeping in contact, everybody's gonna be on the mental health task force, might have an additional person. What was interesting, so I guess I'll jump to this part. So yesterday I spoke with Jacob Mars of Ayers, remember that whole, so I went to that with Angel a couple of months ago, and it's kind of a community mental health type of screening. So for example, they can have anywhere from 400, about 400 people in a room. You have this virtual thing, kind of like an iPad, but more like a video game controller tablet, and it goes through a curated assessment, and they have a team of mental health professionals in the background. So one of my concerns when I went to this a couple months ago, I'm like, people are filling this out. What if they have plan, means, intent to harm self or others? Like, what are you gonna do? And quickly learn they have a whole team that's there. They'll come out, they'll address it, speak to you, that emergency plan in place. And so it was pretty cool. So the guy wanted to follow up with me and ask if I had additional questions. And I shared with him that, I saw this being worthwhile, different events like we've talked about, like maybe doing one with the senior community. We could do one with teens and adolescents, families, maybe have a community event as we're kicking off, when we have our mental health clinic. And it's like, yeah, I could put it together as quick as the day before. Just let me know. I started laughing. I was like, oh, you want me to call you like the day before? He's like, well, a little bit more time would be helpful, but I do see a practical use for it. And what's really great for it too is that, it's no cost to us at all whatsoever. They bill the insurance providers for doing the assessment, and then it creates an automatic referral. So as we get our clinic going and people complete this, if they're an appropriate fit for the mental health clinic that we're putting together, they can automatically get referred to us. We can book an appointment with the clinical director and they can go from there, get set up with one of our counselors. And one of the other things I was talking about, because I take levels of care very seriously, is like, okay, well, the way I see this clinic, I don't think we're gonna be dealing with like psychotic disorders, so substance use disorder, severe, mild to moderate, you can deal with, but in the severe end, that's a bit much. Schizophrenia spectrum is something that that somebody is not medicated, stuff like that. I was like, will you be able to like not have us on there for those situations or for them to a hospital, higher level of care? Yes. So we'd even be able to select exactly what we're equipped to be able to handle people in the community. That's a huge plus to me. So I felt pretty good with that and extended that line of communication. So when I was talking a little bit more about the clinic and I was saying, different people and specialists on the task force, he said the name of somebody who is part of a Veterans Affair with the VA clinic, who he was going to recommend to me, potentially somebody who could be a member of that. Because I've had a hard time finding somebody who's part of the VA for that. But, even like Madam Mueller, she even said during the last meeting, I texted her a little bit after, she'd be interested in special education and dealing with intellectual disabilities, giving some insight with that. So I'm really happy with the way that came together. This is really random, but kind of cool. So yesterday with Hazel and Betty Ford, they ended up getting me an interview with NBC Chicago Channel 5 News to talk about, preparing for the holidays, if you're struggling with alcohol use disorder, how to prepare personally as well as how to support loved ones. And so I had the interview. I get a little nervous over him. So yeah, that went extremely well. I want to get each other's direct contact information so I could reach out to you in the future. If you have different mental health topics, addiction, and so on. Asked me what else I do, and I told her about Wheatland Township. I'm a trustee, and we're going to open this mental health clinic. It's like, oh, the moment that you're ready to do that, let us know. We'll get it out the news. I was like, okay. It's like, well, NBC is my favorite, so that could potentially be cool. But we'll see. It's my segment's supposed to air some like morning news next week. She didn't give me a particular day and time. Probably be like the 4 a.m. segment, on like Tuesday. So I'm like, right, but I have them like, yeah, exactly. So I have them all set to record. But I think that opened up another line of communication. That could be a great way to promote us. But otherwise things are going well. I'm continuing to communicate with the Will County Health Department, with the government council chair, having those meetings. And I do have a meeting. It's been kind of hard to reschedule a couple times, but with Kathleen and with Kathleen Burke and Dan Scruggs. We're looking to do that now the second week of January after we resume the winter break. So that's going to be January 13th, I believe, like that Tuesday. So what's really great with them that we were talking about is they have peer support specialists. They have different like intern type programs that they work with. And a lot of what I was looking for to fill in the gaps, they have, and I think we can work well together. At least they can give some good recommendations.
So as you're preparing for that meeting, if you haven't already talked to Angel, because he's actually working right now on our behalf on a project with Kathleen.
Yes, which is perfect. Yeah, maybe I can invite him like into that meeting here as well. We get that scheduled. I just sent her the Zoom link this morning, so.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Any questions for Matt?
I'm on board still in Path to Recovery. Which is,
Would you like to be part of the task? If you like, would be like if you were interested. I mean,
part of the
I think that would be great. So a lot of the legislative type of things around addiction out here. I mean, that I'm not 100% up to date. I mean, I'm pretty well known. Like I know the clinical stuff, but like legal legislation stuff, I think are helpful.
I'm there that's exactly why I'm on the Path to Recovery, is because I know.
Well, that's you can help with, yes.
And then I bounce it off my wife at home, so she's a cardiac nurse, and she works at the senior home, Sunny Hill, in Julian.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
It's perfect.
Next up, trustee Jeff Klein.
Not too much, just getting out there and meeting with a lot of people now. Now the construction season's getting down, attending coffee with the mayor in the village of Plainfield.
Nice.
Listening to a lot of constituents and, letting people know that we're out here doing things.
Yeah.
Moving the township. Today I was at APWA Chicago Metro's holiday party. And tomorrow I will be at APWA / SSWWA, which is South Suburban Water Association. So I'll be there tomorrow.
Perfect. Thanks. Any questions for trustee Jeff Klein?
Well done.
Thank you. Meta is not in attendance, trustee Tyson.
Um, for November, we were lucky enough to have Bill Green there, and Bill did the intro. Talked about passports to the seniors at the luncheon. He set it up for Harry Benton to come in second. And then Harry, and Bill did a really good job with the Q and A, as did Harry. So the seniors were very happy with the two presentations that we
Awesome.
had. When we had Chick-fil-A for lunch.
Nice.
One lady that mentioned on her tree. Remember the lady was talking at length about a tree at Harry, they had the tree cut before the end of the day.
Wow.
You know, he wanted to.
It's like,
She went home and the tree was already gone.
Awesome.
It was blocking the view at a corner. I wanted to drive by at the end of the day and go see what the tree was, just because it was gone.
Yeah.
So
that was good. So this month, we're gonna have our holiday luncheon at Angelique's on Chicago Avenue, and so it's
That's next Wednesday, correct? It's
Yeah.
17th?
the 17th
Okay.
at noon.
Yeah.
And RSVPs were due today, so she got a few in, so we should have a nice turnout.
If anybody here would like to attend the senior luncheon, you guys are also welcome to attend the senior luncheon.
Just let Carolyn know.
Yeah.
So she can.
Place up so that
Include you
we
in
can
the-
accommodate for
I
the.
do want to do one. I can't smoke. It's like an term. My life's crazy right
Well, we're
now,
not
but I
doing
was like,
speakers this month, we're just doing the luncheon, but I am scheduling, so far, we've scheduled at least 2 or 3 speakers for 2026. We wanna fill out that calendar before the end of the year.
Okay, well, you could throw my name for speaking, but I'd also like to come to a luncheon, just say hello and meet and greet, and that would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause we usually do them what, Wednesdays?
This third Wednesday, third
Yeah, like
Wednesday,
Wednesday's a little bit more flexible for me. Tuesdays are a really bad day,
Well,
but Wednesday I could probably
we're
figure out.
consistent and always on a third Wednesday,
Perfect.
okay?
And they'll pick back up again in April.
In
correct?
April, right, we're gonna go on a hiatus for
Okay.
3 months. I understand that the seniors don't really like to drive when it gets real cold outside, so they take a hiatus for 3 months. But we're gonna have a senior committee meeting in February to get the ball rolling.
Sure.
So,
That's good.
yeah,
And then, relatedly, I know you had mentioned at the last meeting, potentially the line item running out of cash,
yes,
on the budget. So, we didn't amend that portion of the budget this month, but, state statute allows us to do like 10% variance, moving things around on the budget. So if we end up going over, all we'll have to do is, at our next board meeting, we just approve it'll be less than 10%, right? So just a line item change. And as long as it's under 10%, we're good. So,
okay, cool.
so when I say 10%, I mean of the overall town fund budget. So we
Okay,
have roughly $100,000 that we can move around as needed. Not all for the
You
senior,
get dessert?
as much as I love it.
This way.
Get dessert.
you can have 5 desserts.
There you go. So I just wanted you to know that, so we're all good up there.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right, any questions for trustee Tyson before moving on?
Great job. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And we need applicants for the senior committee, so if you know anybody who wants to join the senior committee, please let us know.
And tell them it's not a long-standing engagement. They're not committed for the rest of their lives like you do when you go to church. Stop. If you decide that you don't want to be involved anymore, you can say, I'm done. I've had enough. Goodbye.
So, there we go. Thank you. Clerk Jones.
I had 2 FOIAs, one's closed, the other one's still open.
All right, perfect. Any questions for Clerk Jones? Question? Hearing none. So I'm concluding the reports here. I already mentioned the budget item for you. January, I would like to get a newsletter out by the middle of January. So if you want, since we have a lot of new elected officials, in that January newsletter, I'll do a brief bio, an introduction of our newly elected, or all the officials, but make sure to highlight the newly elected officials. So that'll be there, but if there's anything else that you feel you would like to include, like a notice of request for applications for senior committee, please let me know and I'll make sure that we add it into that newsletter. Couple other things are transport, yes.
Electronic one, or is it?
So what I would like to do is historically, we've sent out like a whole newsletter, like physical copy, but we only sent it to unincorporated. So what I would like to do this time around is as opposed to sending out a full newsletter only to incorporated, I'm gonna send out a little bit larger than a postcard to the full, all residents of Wheatland Township with the link for our digital newsletter. So they'll be able to view it online. So,
A link or like a QR code?
both.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so we'll have I'll put the link on Facebook, I'll put a QR code and the link, cause some people don't like scanning QR codes too, but so I'll have both on there.
Yeah.
So that people have, an opportunity, so the postcard, the way I'm envisioning it, essentially will say like, hey, check the newsletter for these areas so that they know, oh, there's gonna have like our, pickup days. It's gonna have information on senior community, whatever it is, like the calendars and stuff like that. So, encouraging them to do, and then, with that as well, I will make sure that ahead of then, we will have a new sign up form for the newsletter so that we can also automatically send that to people's inboxes. So we'll try going that way to also expand the amount of people who are getting information, especially as we've added services. Like we're gonna talk about the passport services. I wanna make sure the whole township's aware of that. One new thing that we are reinstituting that used to be at the township that was discontinued and is now back. We now have temporary handicap placards here at the township available. The previous ordinance that established that program was never reversed or turned off. So we have the authority and ability to do that as a township. It was just previous administrations did not want to do it. So it wasn't a lack of ability, it was a lack of will. So we brought it back. Very excited for that. So I want to make sure that the residents are aware that they can come here. It's a $10 application fee to get the placard. We could go free if we wanted. We would just have to amend that ordinance because the ordinance is what actually has the fee already locked in. I wouldn't mind doing it for free if you guys are open to it. It only costs us $8 per placard. So, and I think as a trial run, we did an order of, I think it was 100 for the year. So we'll make sure our residents are aware that they can come here for that. I think that's very important. Anything we can do to continue to increase traffic, whether it be free notary services, whether it be passport services or handicap placards, whatever it is, so that people know that we're here and available for them.
Do the temporary handicap placards require a doctor's signature?
I will get you the application so you can see exactly what is required.
Okay.
I have not reviewed the full draft of the policy for it. But I have a copy of it in my email that was just delivered to me.
Yeah, because when I order one for my mother, the
Mhm.
doctor has to sign it.
Yeah, you have to have like the note of the application. So it's a state of Illinois application, so it's probably the same.
Okay, yeah, the
Required,
doctor
done.
has to sign it.
Yeah, so then I'll also make sure that that form is available online for our residents, so they can have it filled out before they even get here. They don't have to pick a form up, go to the doctor, bring it back, right? But we'll also have physical copies available in the lobby. Jeff brought this to my attention, so thank you. We're looking into getting a credit card, payment terminal.
I think Bill, you brought it to me.
Yes. Thank you, Bill and Jeff. So getting a credit card terminal for the township, especially as we're starting to get people coming in for different services. Not everybody carries cash. Not everybody's gonna want to bring in a check for handicap placards, for example. Or for the township portion of the fee for,
They have to bring in each of the checks for,
but they have to bring it for the federal portion, right? But for our portion, we can
ability
take,
to take cash.
yeah, we can take cash, credit, or whatever it may be. So,
Alright, sure.
so we're working on that piece so that we can get the terminal here, and then it'll also help, you know, potentially the cemetery, as well for folks who need to make payments. So I'm happy to get that going, and did I already say our PACE program is under review by PACE? Did I not say that? I don't think I said that. So the previous rules that we passed, right, those programs so that we could get a bus on site, located here we're under review for approval now from the PACE side. So hopefully by the next board meeting, we will have a formal contract that we can approve, and then we can talk about our lease of $100 for a PACE bus to be able to transport residents as needed. All right. Any questions?
It's gonna be the first driver. Maybe it'd be kind of fun.
All right, well, hearing no questions, I will entertain a motion, yes.
Question, can you look at this and tell me if we can talk about that now, or that's something?
We'll talk about this after.
Okay,
I know what you're referring to.
okay.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All right, all in
Who
favor,
wants the
please say aye.
Is it Klein or Tyson? Okay, all right.
All in favor, please say aye.
Uh,
Opposed, abstentions, meeting is concluded at 8:19 PM. Thank you all for your time. Look at that, we did 2 meetings in less than an hour.